Hey guys, welcome back. I'm really excited about today's video because we will speak again about Equinox Gold. Few months ago I have made video about that gold mining company and reactions from my viewers, from you guys, was really positive. And since a lot, and I really mean a lot of new things happened in this company in last several months, I decided to make another video about it to give you a very short overview of their Q3 results. Then we will speak about Los Fillos, that is their most important mine. They have 9 mines right now, which are either producing or will be producing soon, but Los Fillos is by far their biggest mine and the mine on they are relying most on their path to 1 million ounces of gold produced annually. Then we will speak about development of new mines at Equinox Gold, and then at the end, in the fourth part of this video, I will tell you my personal expectations about this company, my personal forecasts about when are they going to hit 1 million ounces of gold production annually, and what is my opinion about what should price of their stock be right now and where is it going to be in the next few years. So stay tuned, I'm really excited about this one. I think it will be really interesting. But as always, first let's check out my portfolio. As you probably expected, it went up significantly in last several days. Dropbox suddenly jumped in last few days, so my portfolio really skyrocketed. And my year-to-date return is almost 40%. Just unbelievable. I have completely destroyed S&P 500 this year. I have beaten it up by almost 30%. Unbelievable. Of course, we have more than 2 weeks until the end of this year, but I already can tell you that I'm extremely satisfied with this year's performance. I didn't do any changes in my portfolio. I'm still sitting at $10,000 of cash in my portfolio. So let's just move on to today's topic. So we will start with a short overview of their Q3 results. I will just highlight the most interesting comments from management. And you can see here that despite the issues at Los Fillos, Equinox had a strong financial quarter, so it exceeds its Q2 results on virtually every financial metric, which is really interesting considering that Los Fillos basically was closed. That includes revenue, earnings from mine operations, profitability and cash flow. So basically very good news, if we exclude that Los Fillos closure, which we will speak about in a few moments. Then we also had a good cash flow of $90 million in only one quarter. And remember, in Q2 it was $61 million. So basically they have increased their cash flow by around 50% compared to a previous quarter. And those are really exciting news. Again, we will speak more about this at the fourth part of this video when I will be giving you my forecasts. But as you can see, they really did very well, which is of course not something that we didn't expect because price of a gold was at all-time high in the Q3. So consequently their results were really good. Average price at which they have sold their gold was at around, I think, $1,901. But let's speak about Los Fillos. As you know, Los Fillos is a mine which is expected to produce more than 350,000 ounces of gold annually. And in some places I have even seen that Los Fillos might be producing up to 500,000 ounces of gold annually. Once it starts firing at all cylinders, once all developments which are right now happening at Los Fillos are finished. Just a short reminder, Equinox Gold is right now producing at around 5 to 550,000 ounces of gold annually with their 8 mines, plus 9th mine is right now in development. So what happened with Los Fillos? First, in second quarter they had to suspend production there because of the government restrictions because of the COVID. And then after those restrictions were lifted, it was ramping up production in July and August. And then once they have started finally producing at their maximum capacity, local community blocked roads and they had to suspend production once again at the beginning of September. So unfortunately for the most part of 2020, Los Fillos actually was closed. Their by far biggest mine was actually closed for the biggest part of this year. But the interesting thing that they were asked on their quarterly earnings is this. And to be honest, that bothered me very much too, because I couldn't find any additional information about this. I am stockholder and I really wanted to know what is happening with their biggest mine. So they were asked why we haven't been providing more regular updates about Los Fillos. And CEO of Equinox Gold said that we much prefer respectful dialogue, face-to-face discussion with the community, as we work through this challenge at Los Fillos and certainly believe that's been the most effective method so far. They actually were asked about it a few more times during this conference call, and the more I thought about it and the more I listened to comments of management, to be honest, it made sense to me. Of course, a lot of investors won't be satisfied with these comments, but their primary goal is to do what is most beneficial towards shareholders. And that is basically to increase value of Equinox Gold as a company as much as possible. And in order to do that, they had to bring back Los Fillos production. And they thought that the most beneficial way is to simply cut off the media and to focus solely on discussion with the community in most respectful way. And I think actually that community that was negotiating with them about that blockage actually respected that very much. And I think that basically helped them to strike a deal. So at the end, in the midterm, in the long run, I think they actually did a good thing. They irritated a lot of investors. To be honest, I was one of those. But now when I see a bigger picture, I actually think they did very good when it comes to managing this situation. So again, I told you that Los Fillos is expected to bring more than 350,000 ounces of gold production annually. Look at this year, in Q2 and Q3, Los Fillos produced 35,000 ounces of gold. Of course, in Q2 that was because of the COVID-19, and in Q3 it was because of a blockage of local community. But even with that, even with Los Fillos basically not working at all, they managed to produce 125,000 of ounces gold per quarter. And how did they do that? Basically all other mines were producing exceptionally well. Everything that they have forecasted, everything that they have told us, actually they delivered, and they over-delivered basically. At other mines, it is really unfortunate to see that Los Fillos was lagging, because if we had production from Los Fillos too, I think we would be showering in gold right now. But then, soon after the Q3 results, we have finally heard some good news. And you can see it here. Equinox lifts blockade at Los Fillos gold mine in Mexico. Equinox Gold has announced that it had removed the community blockade at the Los Fillos gold mine in Mexico. And what they also told us in a Q3 conference call is that they have actually not rushing to lift this blockage, because they want to strike long-term multi-year deal with local community. And although it was a very painful thing to see Los Fillos blocked in short term, I think that we now as investors can be really happy with this, because we can now finally see Los Fillos operating at full capacity, and we can be sure that local community will not be blocking it again. You can see here that Equinox Gold announced a temporary suspension of mining activities at Los Fillos on September 3rd, and now Los Fillos has now started a phased restart and is working towards achieving peak operation next month. So basically they would achieve peak operations in December. Unfortunately, this means that Q4 results will be also heavily impacted with Los Fillos closure. But again, now we finally can forecast mining operations of Equinox Gold. We now know when Los Fillos started working again, and finally can look past this really unfortunate event. So now we are coming to a third part of this video, which are developments in Equinox Gold. Of course, Los Fillos is their by far biggest mine, but then again they have 8 other mines which are producing or in development right now. And you can see it here that, for example, Santa Luz mine construction was also announced on Q3 earnings results, and the mine should cost around $100 million to build, and it should be able to produce almost 100,000 ounces of gold annually. And it is also forecasted that mine life should be around 10 years long. And also they have announced that production of gold is expected to start in Q1 of 2022. So we are approximately 1 year away from Santa Luz, the newest mine in Equinox Gold portfolio, will start producing. They are also expanding Los Fillos. In Q4, Castle Mountain mine in USA started production. They will increase significantly that production in 2021. They will also start phase 2 feasibility study of that particular mine in USA. Basically, when I was going through their materials and presentations, more or less they are doing something in every single mine in which they are operating right now. Either they are starting some feasibility studies, or they are expanding mines, or they are doing something to increase life of a mine. So I really feel that they are looking at 100 different ways of how to optimally use every single part of all of their mines, which is of course extremely good thing to see when you are shareholders. Again, I already spoke about Santa Luz gold mine, which is expected to start producing gold at the beginning of 2022. You can see here forecasts about its production. It will cost around $100 million, and it will bring almost 1 million ounces of gold in 10 years, which is an unbelievable thing to see. So again, they are investing, their balance sheet is really great. They have repaid big chunk of their debt. They have a lot of cash on their balance sheet. They were even speaking about issuing dividend or starting share buybacks, which is of course again something that really intrigues me. So now we are coming to a four-part, which is my forecasts. What do I think about current price of Equinox Gold, which is below $10? Unfortunately, it was above $13 when gold was at around $2,000. Equinox Gold right now is worth around $2.4 billion. Again, their balance sheet, I would give it 8 out of 10. It's really, really good. They do have some debt, but they have also a lot of cash and they are extremely profitable right now. And they also have fully funded all of their investments in all of their mines. So we don't have to worry about potential issues with cash or debt. On top of that, as I've already said, they have generated $90 million of free cash flow in Q3, and they will probably earn similar amount of money in Q4. Perhaps a little less than that, because gold prices went down from 1900 to 1800, 1850, but I expect them to bring around $80 million of free cash flow. That is what they are achieving right now on 125,000 ounces of gold production per quarter. But again, that was without Los Fillos. They're by far the biggest mine. We've seen what they were forecasting in last several quarters, and this management is management which is delivering and even over delivering on their promises. So when they tell us that they will produce over 1 million ounces of gold, I think we can 100% trust them. So what do we have here? We have a company which is producing right now 500,000 ounces of gold annually and which is generating around $350 million of free cash flow. And we have a company which will be producing 1 million ounces of gold, probably in 2022 or in 2023 by latest. And the company which will be generating at least $700 million of free cash flow annually at that production. Remember, this company is right now worth around $2.4 billion. So imagine paying $2.4 billion for a company which will be producing $700 million of free cash flow annually. So my personal opinion is that this stock should be at least $20 right now. Of course, no matter how good management is, there is also a little bit of uncertainty around gold mining companies because, of course, nobody knows where real price of the gold go in the future. And again, no matter how good management is, there is always a small danger of gold prices plummeting. And when you are depending on commodity prices, you cannot expect some high multiples on your business. But to be generating $700 million of free cash flow and to be valued at around $2.4 billion is really extremely unreasonable to me. And this company, to be honest, reminds me a little bit about Dropbox. And I think that markets are just watching what this company achieved in last 12 months and is completely blind about forecasts and about what is happening at mines in Equinox Gold. And they are completely blind about how much gold is this company going to produce in next 2 or 3 years. I really don't want even to mention what would happen with free cash flow of this company if gold prices would go back to $2,000 per ounce or even higher than that. I mean, we could easily see this company going to 10, 12 or even $15 billion of market valuations, which means to 30, 40, 50 or even $60 per stock. Again, I am forecasting their business at current gold prices, and even at those prices, this valuation really doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm really extremely bullish about this company, about this management, and about this stock.